Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me here at the Mindful Homeschooler. I'm so excited for today's video. I'm going to be going over how our first month back to homeschool went for the year 2025 to 2026 for my 6th grade daughter and my son who's in pre-K. If you're new here, my name is Nicole. I'm so happy to have you join me. I seriously love talking all things homeschool. So this channel is all about my journey, homeschooling my 6th grade daughter and my pre-K son, along with working part-time from home. Okay guys, so in today's video, I'm gonna have the first part where I go over my daughter's 6th grade update and then my son's pre-K. My daughter has also requested to come on here for a couple minutes and talk about what she likes about this school year and how it's been going. Before I get into the video, I just have a few housekeeping items. The first one is I do have an Instagram. I have been a lot more active on it lately. I've really found that I enjoy going in the stories and updating you guys on what I'm thinking, on what we're doing. So if you do enjoy more of those day-to-day updates, then I would definitely check me out. I'll put my handle somewhere here on the screen. The next thing I wanted to say is that my sister, my baby sister, has started a homeschooling YouTube channel as well. She's homeschooling her 2nd grade son, and she also has a daughter who's a year younger than my son who's doing preschool. So go check her out, support a brand new YouTube channel. Okay, so let's start on the update. Okay, so for my daughter, I have to say that this year has been going incredibly well. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that this is my 3rd year homeschooling, so I really know how my daughter learns. I really know how she thrives, and I feel like the curriculum that I've implemented has really shown that. So she has a really nice amount of independent work and then work we do together. I feel like I found a really good balance for her. So she does feel independent, and then she really does enjoy that time that we are working together. So let's start with the one thing that we're kind of struggling with and then go on all the stuff that's working really well. So for math, we use Singapore Primary Mathematics Standard Edition. We use this curriculum specifically because we use the video subscription Wisdom Wonder Project. I love them. They are fantastic. Anyhow, we're on decimals and she's struggling, but it's not that she doesn't understand it. She'll watch the video, she'll say she doesn't understand, and then me and her will sit for a few minutes. I'll be able to explain it to her. She'll totally get it, which is new because the reason that we started this program and the video subscription is because she did not want me to teach her and she wasn't receptive, and that has really changed recently. So that was really good to hear. So I just think math is something she doesn't enjoy. Once we finish this, I was planning on moving to Dimensions level 6 just until we could go to Denison for pre-algebra. I did talk to Denison and they did recommend waiting until 7th for pre-algebra. I don't really want to switch to another curriculum only because I really do love the videos and they do continue on with Dimensions. So I'm hoping we don't have to switch. I'm hoping it's just she doesn't like math. But this has definitely been something that's caused a lot of contention. Probably the only thing that's caused contention so far. Okay, so now let's talk about the new things that we're doing that we just have loved. So I brought in this year Brave Writer Arrow Guides. We've done 2. We did Prairie Lotus, and we also just finished Front Desk. I've never done a Brave Writer guide, and these were both arrows. These were so surprising. The way that grammar is taught in such a discussion-based, hands-on way, which is how my daughter thrives and really learns, has been so fun. I feel like on its own, maybe I wouldn't be able to just count on this to teach all the grammar concepts, but as far as having a review and really showing her how these grammar concepts are used and why, like onomatopoeias, ellipsis, em dashes, indents. These are things that I thought she really understood, but going through it, she didn't. But now I can tell you for certainty that she does. I love the way that they present it, how fun they make it. So I would say this really will help strengthen their writing skills because it really does show them how the grammar that they are learning is being used. So really enjoying this. We will keep using it, maybe not every book study, but several times a year, absolutely. I'm going to be doing a pretty in-depth video on how I did both of these. I have a highlighting system that we've used that we really liked that makes my daughter excited for. So I'll be doing that here soon in the future. So on that note, let's talk about the books that we read. We read Prairie Lotus. Love this book. This is about a half Chinese girl in the time period of Little House on the Prairie. This is a really great book to show the bias, even for someone who was half Chinese. We also love Little House on the Prairie, so it was very easy to fall back into the time period. The author does talk about how she wanted to do this in a setting like Little House on the Prairie, but for somebody that was of a different race. She is Korean, and she talks about how Koreans didn't come to the US until the 1900s, but there were a lot of what they call Chinamen. Great story. My daughter is a quarter Chinese. My husband is half Chinese. And so she was really able to connect with this in a way I think she couldn't quite connect with other books, just because she would imagine her father in the same situation as the main character, Hannah, or even herself as a quarter Chinese, because it didn't matter if you were a quarter or half. If you were anything other than Caucasian, you did run into a lot of racial issues. So really loved this book. She loved it. She said she gave this a 5-star. And then we ran into this book, Front Desk, because we finished Prairie Lotus so quickly. I needed something else. And I had seen this on a few other channels and Instagrams. We loved this. This was such a surprise. We went to the library. We got a bunch of different books. I had my daughter pick. She picked this one. And I had actually given her the option to not do an arrow guide, but she surprisingly wanted to, even though she'd been kind of complaining about doing book studies lately. This book was very surprising. This is about a Chinese family that moves from China to come here. They work in a motel, and it's their journey in life. So this was a great book about Mia just triumphing over poverty, over discrimination, and just the power of word and writing letters. It was such a great book. We love this book. We went through this, I think, in less than 2 weeks. My daughter has already started on the second book, which she informed me that I am not allowed to read with her. And then this morning I woke up to the book next to my bed with a sticky note that said, read to chapter 7 so we can read together. So that made my entire day. Since we're on the topic of books, I'm just going to go over a couple books. So she had started reading Solomar, the Sword of the Monarchs. We were reading this with our Latin America geography curriculum that we're doing, and she just really didn't like it, and I kept pushing her. She got maybe a third of the way through, and she just said that she really wasn't connecting to it. I'm not quite sure why, but she did give it a valiant effort, so I did let her DNF this. I have heard great things about this, so definitely, if you're interested in a fantasy story that incorporates Mexican culture, this is a great book, I thought. Okay, so another book I want to give a shout out to is Emma. This is the Awesomely Austin series. My daughter loves this series. She has read Pride and Prejudice. She just read Emma, and she also got Sense and Sensibility. This takes the stories and makes them fun. It's geared for ages 8 to 12. Now, one thing I will say is that since then, my daughter went to the library, talked to the librarian. The librarian showed her some graphic novel books that I'll put pictures of that she's already read for Emma and Pride and Prejudice. And on top of that, she went to my mom's house, and my mom gave her all of the Jane Austen books, and she's currently reading Pride and Prejudice, the actual book. It's taken her a while because I don't think she anticipated how in-depth it was going to be, but these are great books if you want your child to get into those books, but do it in an easy way. So, okay, so now let's get into more curriculum. So a new one for us this year was Fix It Grammar. We started on level 2. It's been very easy right now. I've heard it does get a lot more difficult, but it's been great review. She needs very little from me, and it's been really nice to see that she really does know the concepts we learned in Beowulf Grammar, and this has been working well so far. We've also been doing Hearth and Story Grammar for Writers, grade 6. We will do a week of this, which is 4 days, and then we'll loop this in, and she'll do 2 lessons in one day because they're pretty short. I do like this. I don't feel like I've gotten in far enough to really give very much of a review on it. It is a different take on grammar. It is specifically for Grammar for Writers, as it says, but so far so good. Okay, another new one that we kind of did start at the very end of last year, but that is Daily Doodle Vocabulary. This is a hit. I enjoy it. I've talked about this a lot towards the end of the year. I just really like, she has 4 words a week, and then she writes a paragraph at the end of the week. So here's 3 words. You have doodling that goes along with it. You have activities. Here's your 4th word. Then you write a paragraph where you have to combine the 4 words in a way that makes sense. I feel like that has actually been the most beneficial way for her to really retain those words, is having to make them make sense together. So we also have been doing vocabulary work in our School Nest vocabulary notebook. I love this. So from our novel guides or anything I come across when we don't know a vocabulary word, we will use this. This has been a great addition. All right, guys, so the next one I want to talk about is writing and rhetoric. We are specifically on book 3, the narrative 2. We got to lesson 4, which is where they start outlining. And as I mentioned before, Nikki with Homeschool Knockouts had mentioned that she used this book, Outlining, from Amazon, to kind of teach outlining before you really jump into it in writing and rhetoric, because it is difficult. I do kind of concur from how it's set up. I do have a friend that did it that also agreed, but this has been going well. This is level grades 5 to 8. They also have, I believe, grades 3 to 4. I like this. I will say this is a little more difficult for her. It's definitely a new concept. I think this is a really important concept to talk about, to learn to outline, to know what a main topic is, to know what subtopics are. So this has been really great. I anticipate this will probably take us a month or 2 to go through, and then we'll go back into writing and rhetoric 3. Okay, so some other new stuff for us this year is we started Get to Know Philosophy by DK. This is a very nice introduction book into what philosophy is. Philosophy and logic is definitely a subject that we will heavily be discussing. It's something I really love and think is really important to teach those critical thinking skills. So we've just been going through this, doing 4 pages a day, discussing it. We just got it from the library, and this has been going really well. All right, guys, so the next new thing that we've done this year is my Latin America culture and biome study. I created this for my daughter specifically to fit her learning style and needs, and it has been paying off. She loves this. I swear this is one of her favorite things. She could do some of this independently, but some of it does require me, and I prefer to do it with her. But I'm going to be honest with you, sometimes in the morning I'll come down and she will have already done this and will be so excited to tell me all about everything that she did. She works in a country file where she has pages that she fills out and country maps and a bunch of other stuff. So I have lots of videos on this. I have a world geography playlist if you're interested, but she's really been loving this. We also have this biome notebook where when we're learning about the biomes, she'll be inserting everything in here. So really been enjoying this. It's just been a lot of fun. We should be done with this by the end of the year, and then we're going to start into my prehistory unit, and we'll take the rest of the year to do this. I know that prehistory is technically considered history, but to me this is very sciencey. As well, I feel like I'm often surprised when it's more referred to as history than science. So this will be our science portion for the last part of the year. She is starting ancients in 7th grade, so I want this to be fresh in her mind because it ends right before ancient times would start. So really looking forward to this. I did create it, but I haven't got a chance to do it yet. All right, so the last thing for my daughter is I want to go over the mental health stuff that we've been doing. She did finish Sometimes I Have Big Feelings. This was a great workbook. She really enjoyed it and looked forward to doing it. So I continued on and got Sometimes I'm Shy. Again, she loves this. I just give this to her on loop with a few other things. She really enjoys it. And she specifically wanted me to talk about this book that she read, Be Beautiful, Radiate Confidence, Celebrate Difference, and Express Yourself. I'm probably going to let her tell you guys how she felt about this book because she feels very passionately about it. She told me this changes the way that she views herself, and she was able to just really accept herself from it. So definitely recommend checking this out from the library. She loved this book. All right, guys, so now I'm going to talk about my son's month update, and then I'm going to bring my daughter in to let her talk to you about how she's enjoyed this first month of her new 6th grade year. Now, my son is 4.5. He's going to be 5 at the end of October, so this is definitely a pre-K year for him. I have several different preschool programs that I'm using for him, and I'm just combining and using them all because I find benefits in all of them. You definitely don't have to do this. It's just kind of how I roll. So, okay, so the first one I want to talk about is Gentle Feast. This is Gentle Lessons in Letters and Sounds, Level 0. This is specifically geared for ages 4.5 to 5. I've talked extensively about this. I do have 3 recent videos on my curriculum updates if you're interested. This has been going great. This focuses on phonetic awareness as well as letter sounds, not letter recognition. I would say this is heavier on phonetic awareness than letter sounds. I do supplement letter sounds, but honestly, this would be a perfect introduction. And To be honest, the phonetical awareness activities have been more crucial than the sounds because my son is actually learning to identify sounds, whereas he wasn't. The activities are very hands-on, kinesthetic, and fun and different every single week, so you're not the same. I actually have a list where I write down all the lessons that we can reuse again and again when we're finished to practice that phonetical awareness. It's fantastic for that. Very simple, very easy. She also has these cards where you have a rhyme, like this is fighting fox, fighting fox. So this has been really helping him learn the sounds and associate with that hand motion. So this has been really great. I would highly recommend this, especially if your kid is just getting into sounds. I'm serious. I've seen such a growth and improvement in him. The next one that we're using is Purposeful Preschool. I use this for the activities to supplement the letter sound activities. I also supplement with quite a lot of other things. So if you look at my updated part 1 video for pre-K, you'll see everything I'm using, but I do mix this in quite frequently for forming letter activities as well as sound activities. Okay, so Treehouse Schoolhouse Story School has been such an amazing fun find. I absolutely am in love with this curriculum. We have done 3 weeks so far. You take one book and all of the activities are incorporated around that book. So fun. Recipes, art activities, math activities, just so many different story connections. I talk in detail about this, so I won't go into it. This has been really fun. There were a couple that I felt were seasonal that I have put off until we get more leaves and it's more of fall. But I have to say that I have thoroughly enjoyed this. She gives a lot of great recommendations from the library. Like, for example, one of my son's absolute favorite books currently was a book regarding caps for sale. It's this book, I Want My Hat Back by John Klassen. I didn't realize this is dark humor, but he is obsessed with this book. Obsessed. So much fun. I just love finding these treasures in here. So that has been going so well. I'm so grateful. I heard a rumor that she's making a kindergarten literature program, and I am going to be all over that if that's the case. So for Blossom and Root early years, if you're new here, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, this girl's crazy. We use this, I think, since like the end of February last year, and we have paused temporarily. I love it. We got through more than half of it. I've tagged quite a few things that I still want to do. I'm bringing in the literature as well because I like her literature prompts. We read a lot. So I like bringing in as much literature as we can. I liked asking the questions. There also is art, picture study with art projects that I bring in sometimes. I also bring in some of the science. So I thought I was going to completely pause this, and I haven't been able to fully let it go because I love it. But I found there's room in our day for this because this is so literature based, and Gentle Feast really only takes maybe 10 minutes. And my son loves being at the table, loves learning, loves engaging. And these are all engaging, fun things to keep him entertained because he really needs that. I'm finding that bringing him in formally like this is making it so much easier to homeschool my daughter and just life in general because he's not always calling me and needing me. Now he's got structured thing and play, and it's, I think, filling his cup more and making it so he is able to be independent. So you can never have enough. So okay, so I want to talk about just a couple more things with him. So for mental health, I just recently released that mental health video, and I did kind of change it. It is my part 3, but I also wanted it to be mental health resources for like pre-K to 2nd grade because these are some fabulous resources. This is a favorite of him. Like, he loves this. This is a little scribble spot. This goes over all the different emotions and their colors. And then we went on to a little peaceful spot. This is the green spot. He loves these books so much. Out of all the books that we've read so far, I would say he connects the most with this. He talks about, what color spot am I right now? Am I the sad spot, blue? So it's just been so cool for him to identify his emotions through colors and being able to like use that in real life. And so definitely recommend these books. They have so many of them. So I do talk about this in that video. All right, last thing for my son is his literature. So we read tons of picture books, but I kind of wanted to start reading more, not quite chapter books, but to get to chapter books, because we'll go to the library and he will find a chapter book that he loves the cover and he will bring it with him everywhere and he will pretend that he's reading it. So I've been kind of wanting to build up that reading stamina so that we can get to that. So I did try My Father's Dragon, and this just wasn't right for him at this time. I don't know, it just he just couldn't grab his attention enough right now, but we will be revisiting this. But I did have a recommendation. I think this was from That's Right, I Homeschool. She had mentioned The Mercy Watson by Kate DiCamillo. He loved this. He loved this, I think, a lot because it has a lot of pictures in it. And while it is chapter books, it's a fun story. Like there are random pages that don't have pictures, but most of them do. He liked the story. So we went on to get Something Wonky Comes This Way and Mercy Watson Fights Crime. So he loves these books. They have been his favorite. So if you are trying to like slowly incorporate your child into more chapter books, I would say that's a great way to start for girls or boys. I actually believe Mercy Watson is a girl pig. So love those. Okay, so now I'm going to bring my daughter in and see how she feels about all of this. All right, guys, so my son wanted to come on and tell you a couple things that he liked about his homeschool year. Okay, do you want to tell him?
I actually like this one because...
You got to put it up high so they can see.
I like this one because it says... Egg-going elephant, egg-going elephant,
Did you like that? What about this one? Can you show him this one? Show it up high and tell him what it is.
It says... Bouncy bop, bop, bop.
Good job.
So I also like this because you guys like funny pages and stuff.
Show him the book first. Show him the book. Okay.
So now I can show you the funny part of it.
The funny part of it?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell him what it... Here, I'll hold it up. You tell him what it... Okay.
No.
Okay.
So this... I think you hold this much harder.
Okay.
So I like this because it says, have you seen my hat? What is that?
You love that part so much. That was one of your favorites, huh? Can we talk about this?
I also like this because you can do like dogs and squirrels and stuff. I also like this book right here because this has like happiness.
Can you show them?
Anything. I also like this because you can do everyone like.
Who's the blue spot?
The blue spot's kind of like a sad, slow.
And what's the red spot?
The red spot is mad and he's trying to like be mean to people.
And what's the gray spot?
The gray spot is nervous.
Nervous. And what's the green spot? Peaceful. Yep. Do you like those books?
Yes, I also like Mercy Watson Fights Crime.
Do you want to show them Mercy Watson Fights Crime?
I also like Mercy Watson Fights Crime. And I also like Mercy Watson.
You want to hold it up so they can see?
I also like Mercy Watson. And it got all kind of pages. So, see this person?
I'll hold it up high for you. You got to hold it up high.
So see, I see that guy. He flings. So she flings. He's like pigs live in barns. Pigs live in barns.
And you don't think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Grayson. So can you tell us for this homeschool year, would you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Thumbs up. Have you been liking homeschooling with me and Emma?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Say bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Now I'm going to go get my daughter and we'll bring her on. All right, guys. Here's my daughter, Emma. She's here to tell us how she feels about the first month of her 6th grade year, first month of middle school. I can't believe it. I want to cry a little bit. She's barely 11, so I still consider her my baby. Okay, so if you had to pick one thing that was your favorite so far, what would you pick?
The novel studies.
The novel study. Wow. Okay, you guys, to give you some context, after we did Brave Writer Prairie Lotus, she did not want to do anything anymore. And you actually picked doing Front Desk, Brave Writer Arrow Guide. So why don't you tell me why you would consider the literature portion and the novel studies your favorite?
Because it's a lot different from a normal book study. It's not asking you so many questions. It's not doing all the other stuff. It's like teaching you the grammar inside a paragraph that it picks or something like that. Like it's teaching you like a sentence. What does that mean? Or an ellipsis or a dash or the bold parts or the, yeah.
Yeah. Do you like our highlighting system that we do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you guys that on our review. Okay, well, what did you think about the 2 books that we've read so far?
Okay, so what is Prairie Lotus? I like Prairie Lotus. I'm a quarter Chinese. Did you tell them that?
Yes, but you can tell
And
them too.
for some reason, like, just reading books that are like me that are Chinese, just seeing what it was like back then for them. Like this one, it was in 1880. It was a girl who was half Chinese, just seeing how it was back then, how they would treat people who are Chinese or not fully white. So I really loved it. I really like this book, and my mom still hasn't let me put it in my bookshelf yet.
I was saving it to do this video, then you get to put it in your bookshelf. Okay.
This is probably one of my favorite books now. We're actually on the second book. I love this book. And this one, she's Chinese too.
We didn't plan that.
We're on the second one right now. I love this book because, again, she's Chinese and her family is also Chinese. They moved from China to America and they started working for Mr. Yao or Yale?
Yeah, Yale.
I don't know. At this motel. And he's very mean to them. He's like, he doesn't pay them that much. And even though he lets them have a room, he's just really mean. And whatever they damage or something like that, or say the customers want a refund, he'll always make them pay for it.
What would you say was your favorite thing about this story? Why did you love it so much?
I liked it because Mia is really confident when she writes letters. She's really confident with her words. Sometimes she doesn't give them to the people most of the time, but when she does, the people really change their minds about stuff like they don't want to when she writes her letters.
Do you feel like she helped a lot of people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was a great book, you guys. I would definitely recommend this. And Emma's officially letting me read the second book along with her now.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that you wanted to talk about this book?
This book is called Beautiful. It's teaching you to love yourself, whether you have a disease that's, let's say, vitiligo, or you have other diseases or something. It's really just teaching you to love yourself no matter what. Has all these different sections in it, like say your hair, or other stuff, things like that. It really taught me to love yourself. Love myself. Oh yeah.
Would you recommend this to other girls?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For other girls who feel insecure about maybe their body or something like that, it really tells you just it doesn't matter what you look like or how big or small you are, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I really like this book.
Awesome. Okay, you heard it from her. So you can't think of anything that you'd want to change?
No.
Okay. Is there anything else that we knew we started this year that you're liking?
Oh yeah, grammar.
Grammar? Okay, here. You mean fix-it grammar?
Yeah, fix-it grammar.
Okay.
I like this a lot better than Beowulf grammar.
You do?
It's not as complicated.
Really? That's a very interesting perspective.
And it's like it'll take a story, like it's taking the town mouse and the country mouse, and they'll just break it up, and it'll take one sentence, and it'll make it different, like say lowercase to capitals or not put periods or something like that.
So you have to edit it.
Yeah, you have to edit it, and say they'll be like you have to underline things or yeah. So it's a lot easier than that one.
I'm so glad that you picked this. I have to say, it's so surprising the things. The fact that she said Brave Rider Arrow was her favorite and Fix It. It's so surprising the things that they like and don't like. Like, I never would have guessed book studies would be your favorite from how much you were like, I don't want to do book studies anymore. Oh, you want to grab that? Grab that.
This one's called Sometimes I'm Shy. It's actually the one I got, Sometimes I Have Big Feelings. I am really shy, and it might not seem like I'm shy, but I am very shy.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm on camera right now, so it's like nobody's actually watching me. But I've always been shy all my life. I've always had a hard time making friends.
Yeah.
I can never really speak up. And I'm even shy around my family sometimes. It's I'm shy around my aunt and my uncle, sometimes even around my dad. So yeah, that book is really nice, but it's basically telling me that it's okay to be shy and it's okay to speak up sometimes, you know?
Yeah. I'm glad you like this.
I think there's other ones, like it's okay to be mad or something like that.
Yeah. And you just finished, what was the one you finished?
Like, Sometimes I Have Big Feelings.
Yeah. Did you like that one?
Not as much as the shy one, because this one is what I am. I'm shy. So yeah.
Awesome. All right, honey, do you have anything else you want to say?
Is there anything else in here? Okay. Poetry. Light in the Attic. I think my mom showed you the other one we did by the same author. I like these poems. Sometimes they can be kind of disturbing, especially with the pictures.
Yeah.
But I actually
But
like
that's
the
your
poems.
humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like the poems that he writes. It's
Yeah.
like it's funny and it's weird. So yeah, I like the poems in here.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
This.
Oh, okay.
I love Jane Austen's books, and I'm actually reading Pride and Prejudice, the normal version, which somehow I understand. So much I read Pride and Prejudice and watched the movies. But I also love Emma. Emma's probably Pride and Prejudice and Emma are my two favorites so far. I'm gonna read Sense and Sensibility, but I love Emma. It's basically about a girl who, it was published in 1815, so it was in 1815 times, I'm pretty sure. It's about Emma Woodhouse. She's pretty, she's beautiful, she's clever and rich. And it's a really good story. I love it. It's weird, and she marries her best friend in the end, so I love it.
Yeah, she does love it. We should have brought down the big book that Grandma gave you to show everybody what you're reading out of it. Okay, go grab it. All right, she is back. Show us what you have to show us.
Okay, so my grandma gave me this Jane Austen book. It's all the normal versions of them. It's 7 of them. It has Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, Northanger Abbey, Persuasion, and Lady Susan.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm reading Pride and Prejudice right now.
It's heavy, guys. Big book.
Yeah, and she also gave me these ones.
Show 'em.
So the first one is Jane Austen in her times. It's basically, this one's about her childhood and the other things like that. Jane Austen is one of my favorite authors, probably. But I really like this.
Yeah.
And then Becoming Jane Austen is a true love story that inspired the classic novels. I haven't read these yet, but I'm going to read them once I'm done reading all her novels, just to learn more about her. I really just am happy Grandma gave these to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you recommend these Awesomely Austen books for girls that want to read romance that's like totally appropriate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not, okay, they can read the normal versions once they probably read the Awesomely Austen version and Pride and Prejudice, and maybe when they have maybe a good vocabulary. Because it's like there's words in here that I didn't know at first, but I just asked Google and it told me. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, guys. I know this was long, but this must have been the review that you never knew you needed. So thanks so much for sticking around. If you have any questions for me, for Emma, let us know. If not, we'll see you in my next video. Bye.